Hey guys, Mark here to talk about the finale and pretty much my entire experience of watching the show Breaking Bad. If you haven't watched the show and if you intend to watch it and you don't want to be spoiled by it, then this episode's probably not for you, because I'm gonna go ahead and just go all out and spoil everything. So if you intend to watch it one day, or you're watching it and you haven't quite finished it, unfortunately, this probably isn't going to be the episode for you. But for everybody that wants to hear what I have to say about it, obviously I'm Mark, and I just totally messed up on talking.
Drop the bass.
Okay, so mainly I want to talk about the finale. I want to talk about what I thought compared to what maybe other people thought. As far as the show goes, I think it ended probably one of the best ways it could have ended. He released different, Vince Gilligan released different, like 5 different ways that he had planned on having the show end. And I didn't really like any of them. A lot of them had him going Rambo on on a jail, like if Jesse got put in jail. I don't know. Going Rambo on the police, going Rambo on the Nazi guys, which, I mean, he technically did, but he didn't really. Some of them had Skyler committing suicide, and that's a little brutal. So they ended up actually tying it up in a nice little bow, which is fine, except for the fact that I'm not completely pro Walt. I feel about him what I believe the show wanted me to feel about him. I don't think he's awesome. I don't think he's a complete badass. I think he's pretty smart, but he's really arrogant. He's really greedy, and he was just in over his head with the whole thing. So, mainly talking about the finale, they have him give the money to what were their names, Gretchen and Elliot, which was his former business partner, and basically he's like, here's, I think it was like $9 million, take this money and give it to my son on his 18th birthday, make it look like a donation, since he knew that he wouldn't take his money. Because of the whole phone call the episode before, he knew he wouldn't take his money, so he figured in a form of a $10 million donation, then he'd be able to, even though he's not getting the credit for it, it's not really about the credit, since he knows he's going to be dead anyways. It's more about making sure they're still taken care of. So that's cool. And then, he ended up saving Jesse in the end and devised this very Walter White-like plan to be able to kill all the Nazi guys. And he was able to kill, I think her name was Lydia, with the rice, and how he got it in the stevia packet, I have no idea. But he did. And he got to explain himself to Skyler and see his daughter one last time. What I did like is that he didn't get to say goodbye to Walt Jr. He just had to watch from a distance and knew that, and even though he died that night, got to live the rest of the short life he had left, knowing that Walt Jr. had completely disowned him as a father. And so, which leads me to the point where I wish Skyler would have been even more angry with him. There's all these things that made it where he was able to tie up all these loose ends, and pretty much he died getting everything he wanted. They get the money. He saves Jesse. He kills the bad guys. And I kind of felt like he should have got punished a little bit more. He triggered the events that made Gomez and Hank die, and he never had to really answer for that. And so that kind of sucks. I wish he wouldn't have died, and I wish he would have went to I wish they would have basically ended it with him being, him having to answer to the police and to Marie, how his role of why Hank is now dead and stuff like that. So I wish he would have been more angry with him and not let him see his daughter one last time. I will say, though, is I do like how he basically tells Skyler, well, I'll just... Here's probably one of my favorite Breaking Bad moments ever.
All the things that I did. You need to understand.
I have to hear one more time that you did this for the family.
I did it for me. I liked it. I was good at it. And I was really I was alive.
And I just love that part because he's finally admitting, he's done them a disservice. He's done them so wrong by always lying to them and always trying to make himself look like the good guy. And I'm glad he finally is able to admit, I did it for me. I liked it. I was in a dead-end job. I was at the gas station and at the school. And yes, I wanted to make money, but at the same time, he had an idea that he didn't follow through with. I can't completely remember. But then his partner ends up making millions, and he's just got like this mediocre life. And I see that. I get his point. So him, the show, and him finally admitting that he had done it all for him. That's why I kind of wish there was a little bit more of a punishment, because he was able to almost he pretty much got away with everything. He was gonna die from the cancer anyway, so him getting shot is it's an inevitability that he was gonna die. He was only 52, 51 at that time, so old age, he was gonna die anyway. It's not like old age was a factor. He would have spent many years in prison. So the fact that he really got an easy way out kind of sucks, but it's one of those things where I'm still extremely happy with the ending, and just the ending alone, it completely made you feel like, it wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh, are they looking to leave off with a sequel series or anything like that. In that last episode, you knew this was the end. There's no more cooks, there's no more sliding by, no more lies, no more anything. You knew that this was the end. He was too tired to even try anymore. And so it really made you feel like this is the end. And now that it's over, I'm sad that it's over, but there's nothing else that I want more from the show. It tied it up nice, and I'm glad it went out the way it did. And it goes to show that the Breaking Bad story is only something that could have been done in a TV series. That feeling of this is the end, and it makes you reflect and think about the past, 5 years of the show, or I really don't know how long it was. I think it came out in 2008, 2007. I only started watching it last year, but it makes you think of the past 5 seasons and think about how far you've come, and you can look at Walt and see how much he's changed physically, mentally, but when you're watching that finale, this is the end, and it ended just at the perfect time. It wasn't like The Office and stuff like that, where you're like, okay, this should have ended 2 seasons ago. If anything, Breaking Bad they probably could have squeezed another season or 2 out of it, but it would have just been more of the same thing. Him skating by, him finding a new villain, him skating by, and so I feel like it ended at the perfect time, and I'm sad to see it go, but I'm sad the universe isn't gone, because we get the prequel. We're pretty sure it's going to be a prequel. Pretty sure he said it is, of the Saul Goodman character, which is a hilarious character. So I'm really interested to see what that show is going to be like. But as far as the Walter White meth story, it's over, and I'm glad it's over because of how it ended, and I'm sad because you know, it was really something to look forward to, that like almost year gap of not having anything, and every Sunday being excited to be able to watch it, and ending and being like, oh my god, I can't wait till next week. So gone on for a long time here. I really like the show, and if you haven't watched it, it's storytelling at its finest. It really is. It's, you know, somebody told me today that they heard the show was kind of slow, you know, because we were discussing like Walking Bad, and he was like, yeah, but I heard Breaking Bad's like really slow, and I was like, I guess you could put that spin on it, but you're really never bored with it. It is interesting, even in the shots where they're just sitting at the breakfast table. You know, a lot of people have criticisms of, you know, they're just like eating and they're like looking around, and you know, but it's there for a reason. And so that's it. So if you like it and you agree with me, you can go ahead and comment, and maybe we can talk about it some more. This is just how I'm feeling right now, and I really like the show, and it's going to be hard to find another show like it because, you know, the cast alone, Bryan Cranston, he's just amazing. I can't think of any other words. And so Walking Dead starts back up soon, and I'm hoping it starts to become a little bit better because it's a little right now. So until then, I guess we'll see you on the next episode of Marks Remarks.